Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is kind of part 2 of the Sunset Lakes video. Right there is the lower Sunset Lake, which I circumnavigated yesterday. And over through these trees behind here is Upper Sunset Lake, and we're going to try to walk around that today. This is my campsite with the Sprinter. It's a beautiful lookout. It's a little bit mosquito-y, so being up here on the hill, I'm in the wind and it's really nice. So we might encounter some mosquitoes today, but otherwise we're going to go ahead and check it out.
First order of business is just going to cross country down to the lake. There's a water crossing there. And rather than doing that at the beginning, I'm going to go around clockwise, so we'll do that at the end if necessary. Kind of discovered a use trail along here. It looks like kind of a trail. And we'll see how it goes. One thing to note is that the upper lake seems a lot less granity than the lower one. So there's more vegetation. It might make travel around it a little more difficult. And if this thing is, it's not really a use trail, it might be a critter trail or something, but there's not much going on here. But you can see there's a lot of beautiful wildflowers along the trail here. That alone is kind of worth the effort. Okay, as I come up the crest here, I get a little bit better view of the lake. It's probably half the size of the other one, the lower lake, the lower Sunset rather. There's 2 pieces of wood sticking up, and then between them is looks like 4 Canada geese. So we'll check that out when I get closer.
All right, it's a really pretty lake. It's kind of hard going there along that steep side slope. Now I've climbed up a little bit and it's a little more level. One thing about this lake is it's kind of straight on one side, and then the other side has these inlets all the way down. So on the way back we'll see more of those. And some of it's pretty densely vegetated, so I'm not sure how this is going to go trying to get all the way around. But so far it's pretty good. There's enough wind to keep the skeeters off, which is nice.
Here's the spot where we come down to the lake, and it's not too bad going. There's a look around the lake, looking back from where we came. And I see the geese way, way over there. If you listen closely, you might be able to hear the ducks over there. They might be warning each other that some fool like me is coming along. Okay, so here's a definite obstacle here. There's a lot of brush and there's water there. And I think this is really flat and marshy, so it probably goes back a ways. But I think my best bet is to try to go around it rather than go through it here, and then the other side looks a little more clear, although it's steep and rocky. As you can see, this is a road here right in front of me. Comes in and may come in from this way and then go around here and go up and around, and maybe you can camp up there as well. Here's another campsite, a little side road, and then it goes around there, and you camp down in the trees if that's your thing. It's not my thing. Probably a lot more mosquitoes and no view there. And this marshy area looks huge. So I think my only solution is to stay on the road and walk all the way around it.
Taking this road is going to definitely take me way out of my way, but I think it's a better alternative than bushwhacking through those weeds. I kind of suspect the rest of the hike around the lake is going to maybe be a little bit easier. No guarantees though. If you look down there, you can just see how weedy it is. It's just hard to get through there. Ideally, I want to get through to the other side over there.
Okay, here I am coming out on the main road in, the way I came in. So I'll just turn back down the main road here. And then once I get over that marshy area, this is Road 31204. So I'm located off Blue Lakes Road, which is off of Highway 88 or Carson Pass, and that's south of Lake Tahoe, California. I don't know what the closest town here is, maybe Markleyville. And over to the right, you can see this just kind of impassable marshy area. So I'm just going to walk on here until I'm past all this. Well, here's an unexpected surprise. that is the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail, which goes right through here, crosses the road, and continues actually the way that I want to go. So let's just take this and see if it gets us back near the lake. I'm not sure it will, but I'm not sure it won't. Well, I thought I was actually kind of skunked, but it turns out it's kind of nice having this little cruise on the PCT, easy going. The lake is over this way. I feel like I'm getting a little bit too far from the lake. However, it's still really marshy in there, so I know I don't want to be in there. So this might be okay. And then I started thinking, God, I wonder if I would run into any through hikers. It's late June, I can't remember where they should be. I think they should be probably past here by now, but I can't say for sure. So it would be a trip to run into somebody. I'm doing like a 3 or 4 mile hike, and to run into someone who's doing a 3,000 mile hike. I hope it happens, but I kind of don't think it will. This is a little strange. Howdy. Are you a through hiker?
I am, yeah.
Are you kind of on schedule?
Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bird Bath is trail name.
Okay.
Or Scotty Carlisle.
I'm Sky Pilot.
Sky Pilot? Nice.
I'm just camping right over here at Lower Sunset, and it's a beautiful spot. I'm in my van, my Sprinter van, you know, but I've done sections of the PCT.
Oh, cool.
And I was talking to my camera.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I wonder if I'm going to run into some PCT people.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I was trying to figure out the timing, and I thought I might be a little late. Are you ahead or middle or?
I don't know. I started on April 29th, so
yeah, that's normal, right?
Couple months in, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I heard some folks I was camping with yesterday said I'm slightly ahead of some bubble that is.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. So how many miles do you do a day?
Right now I did 31 yesterday. But usually it's like 25-ish.
Yeah.
So I guess it was a little bit more, but.
Nice. Have you done the PCT before?
No, never have.
Have you done the eastern, the Adirondacks? Or?
No.
Okay, so this is new.
Appalachia, yeah, never through hike before.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Nice.
Super fun.
You know, if you look at the map, there's these 2 lakes here. They're really nice.
Yeah.
Especially the lower one, which is the farther one. And I walked around the other one yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And then today I'm doing this one. And the lake's over there, and I ran into these weeds, so I decided, well, I'm just going to try to go all the way around and find good terrain. And then I ran into this trail, and I know it's here, but I just didn't know how close it was. So.
Yeah, there's some other folks back, and definitely a few ahead for sure.
What's your impression so far?
That's incredible. Every day is just. I mean, now I'm getting to the point where it's just like, I hate that I'm taking it for granted.
Yeah.
Every day is just utter beauty, and but there's no better feeling than just
well, the Sierra is
up.
pretty amazing, right? Yeah, and then it gets a little.
Yeah, I'm an Oregon guy, so I'm looking forward to.
How have the mosquitoes been?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Real bad for a few days. Like that's the only. I haven't thought about quitting once, except for a day that was just nonstop, just engulfed in mosquitoes.
I've experienced that, and it was July in Yosemite.
Oh yeah.
It was early July. What about this time?
Yeah.
Yeah. In that section through Yosemite where you kind of go down into. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but it was really hard to enjoy it just because it was just horrendous.
And then there's some strategy, right? Picking a campsite that's more exposed, maybe has a little more wind or whatever.
Yeah, trying to. Now it's amazing like last night we were sitting around a camp and there was mosquitoes, but everyone was so, because we'd experienced what we'd experienced prior to, now it's like, not a big deal.
Yeah, a few of them aren't bad, but when they're just all in your face.
Yeah, I'm going to get some water here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I broke my leg earlier this year, and I'm doing.
No way. Dang.
I'm doing my first hiking. This is.
Yeah.
Yesterday was my first technical hike.
Dang, how'd you break your leg?
Oh, it was really stupid.
It always is, right? It's
always
something.
I was getting older. I'm a mountain biker, and then sometimes I go on my trips, and I like to do mountain bike rides. And then I decided, I'm getting old. I'm going to get a motorcycle, and then I got a motorcycle. It was called Dual Sport, right?
Yeah, Dual Sport. Yeah.
And so it's big enough to ride on the highway, because then I figured I could go camp and then just do these bike adventures.
Yeah.
And I got on some technical dirt, and the bike fell on my leg and just crushed it. So
I grew up riding dirt bikes.
Oh, really?
And that's I'm cyclist. I mean, this is totally brand new to me.
Okay.
Through hiking.
Yeah,
obviously I've hiked before, but
of course, yeah.
But yeah, usually I'm doing bike packing trips, and I'm in the bicycle industry and got laid off this last fall, and so kind of started.
Were you?
I turned 40.
What were you doing? And were you sales or
sales rep for Giant?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Oregon, Alaska, and a little bit of Northern California. And unfortunately, COVID, we all benefited greatly because everybody wanted bikes, but then the downside is they manufacture too many bikes, and
Yeah. Yeah, it's
sales
such a
aren't
weird
what they
thing.
were hoping, and people lose jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carry on.
Have a great trip.
Yeah, you too.
I'll be ready. And it's bird
Bird bath.
bath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that a
Sky
given?
Pilot?
Was that a given name?
Yeah, it's because I would always like early in the desert, especially I'd like always clean myself in the streams and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
always wash my shirt and hat and stuff. And so they started calling me Mr. Clean, but we have a bird crew.
Uh-huh.
And so then somebody was like, "Oh, I saw that guy behind, like, yeah, he was taking a bird bath." And then everyone was like, "Oh, that's the name. Here's Firecracker."
Great.
Firecracker!
There's Firecracker. All right, bird bath. Take
Okay.
care, man.
Well, this is actually perfect. I've gotten around the rough part there, and you can see the lake down there, but I think I'm going to go down just a tiny bit further. Seems like it might be a little better terrain for getting down, but the PCT tends to go up that way. And so it's time for me to leave the trail. I was lucky enough to see bird bath and have a chat, and I didn't stick around, but there was a woman coming up behind him whose trail name, you know, they have trail names. Her name is Firecracker. And most of you know this, but if you do the PCT Through hike, you're going to have a trail name. And while you're on the trail, that's the name you use pretty exclusively. Sometimes they talk about what their real name is, but it's a thing. And the best way to get a trail name is to earn it. So Bird Bath explained why he got his name. And you can choose your own, but some of the names are pretty dubious based on people's somewhat strange habits. Okay, if you look over that way, that's the marshy part. You can see I'm right on the edge of the lake here. And if we look over this way, you see the rest of the lake. Nice shot. It's a little bit rough going here, kind of bouldering, but we're not in the brush. There's no way I could get through that. And then over on the other side, you know, it looks very doable. So unless I run into obstacles before then, I think it's going to be slow and a little rough, but this looks like kind of a tough spot. I don't think I can make it past that rocky area, so I hope I don't have to go all the way up. Maybe I can go right here through this, at the edge of the shadow here. But it looks a little treacherous. This looks doable, but a little treacherous for a guy traveling alone. So I'm going to go up and around instead. Okay, so I've had to travel pretty high above the lake here for this nice view. And now I'm going to see if I can just go over this shoulder here without risking my life.
Well, sometimes it's easier to take the high route. Sometimes it's not. I've essentially gotten cliffed out here, which is going to happen when you take the high route. So I think what I got to do, I want to be down there. So what I got to do is go around this thing here, around there, and then back down there. I think it'll work out. Oh my God, it continues to go way up. But I think I can maybe get through over here to the right. Let's have a look at that. See if it'll go right through here. The higher you get, the more chances there are to get cliffed out. So I hope it doesn't happen again. Of course, there's some nice flowers along the way, and I'm glad I don't have a lot of miles to cover today because it's pretty slow going. This is definitely a fingers crossed affair here because I'll have a better view of what's happening when I get through this notch here. Okay, it looks pretty flat up here. Somebody's campsite here, so probably not far from the trail. So here's a fire pit. Not necessarily a PCT person because they don't build these elaborate fires. But maybe a larger group they might. Okay. This is looking
somewhat doable. Figure out the best way to get down, either right there or maybe I think I'm better off going this way. It looks really easy. Here's a beautiful little wildflower garden. And then the lake is right there. And looks like maybe my way down is straight ahead that way. As I said before, one side of the lake is relatively straight, and then the other side, which is the west side, consists of various inlets, and this is the very first inlet. And I mentioned that these lakes are dammed, and you can see one of the telltale signs is these old stumps here. You can see, and look at that beautiful peak on the other side, and then on the other side of the lake you can see that very overgrown area, swampy area that I bypassed by going behind it through those trees on the road, then caught the PCT over this way, and then dealt with these. That's the tough section there that I had to go around. Okay, so as I said, that's the first inlet, and this is a area of land that kind of jetties out into the lake, and then we come immediately upon the second inlet, which is this guy right here. Although it wouldn't surprise me if there's a lot of mosquitoes in here. It looks like it's pretty easy going around and just stay just above the water there. You can get all the way around and over that saddle to the next one. Okay, so this is the first bump between the first and second inlet. And I've gone over the saddle. There's the outlet of the lake at the far end there. There's the third inlet. I think there's 4. I'm going to go up here and catch a view. Okay, so this is a really nice view from the top. Got some wildflowers down here, and if you look back through the trees behind me, the first inlet's there. You can see some of the grass and stuff, and then this is the second inlet here. This is the third one there. Wait, that's second, third. That's the fourth one. That's the third one. That's the fourth one. There's the outlet down there, and that's the opposite side of the lake where I just was in the past the dicey parts. And if you look carefully, they're really hard to see. I don't know if you can see with the wide angle, but there's 2 ducks down there just to the left of the stump, and they're just swimming along. Very cool. It's windy up here, so there's no issues with mosquitoes. All right, so there's the rock outcropping where I was a minute ago. This is the third inlet. And then there's the big peak over there. And this is the direction we're heading. I think we have one more inlet before we get all the way around. Okay, so here we're coming up on the fourth and I believe the last inlet before the end of the lake. Can't see my campsite yet, but I think I will be able to in a minute. Something I want to point out while I'm here in the deep dark woods, these types of hikes where there's no trail and it's just a big adventure to try to figure out where to go, and you have no idea if they're going to work or not, to me are kind of a lot of fun. Alright, so here's the fourth and last one. Just wanted to point out that how cool it is doing these kind of hikes where you just don't know whether you're going to make it or not, or where you're going to go, or how you're going to deal with the terrain, whether you go down by the lake or stay farther away. But this has been amazing, and also a little bit unexpected is this road right here that I just discovered. I don't know where this goes, whether this is the... Maybe I'm to the... Yeah, I guess I'm to the outlet already, so this is the outlet road. So I think all that remains is just to continue along here and cross the outlet of this lake, which is also the inlet of the next lake. So the lake we hiked around, of course, is Upper Sunset Lake, and this is the water flow between the two. And then we just head up the other side, and my campsite is up on the ridge, and I think I just barely see the roof of my van just to the right of that lone tree at the, it's kind of scrawny at the top. I think now that's a rock. And my campsite is right up there somewhere. I can't see the van. Oh, there it is. You can just see it starting to shine there. That's the van. And so that's where I'm camped. So all I've got to do is get across this one and take my shoes off and walk across it barefoot. There's the other lake, and then I'm gonna maybe go up the road a little ways, and or maybe I'll just cut up here because there's some folks camped over there and I don't want to bother them. They've got dogs that go crazy, start barking. I don't want to deal with that, so I think I'll just try to hoof it up the steep part. That's the way I came down, kind of that way.
All right, folks, let's give this a whirl and see how it goes. Try to film myself with the long stick. Hopefully you can see the water, my feet. This is an easy crossing, just going to carry the shoes. And the nice thing is, it's not rocky, so it's a pretty easy sandy bottom. You can see the lake behind me and the outlet. The best thing to do is to stay close to the water and put my shoes on so I can rinse them off. Alright, so I'm going to take the kind of direct route up here, which is not super easy. Oh man, this is slippery. But as I said, I don't want to deal with the dogs barking. As you can see the van up there. So sorry about being out of breath. All right, everyone, thanks for coming along. I've almost caught my breath here. I'm back at the van. There's Lower Sunset Lake. And while I've got you, I'd like to mention, if you did enjoy the video, please do like and subscribe, because you know that helps out a lot. And I appreciate you coming along. So until next time, thanks for watching.